Introduce me already getting nervous about the names. Introduce you.
You can shout. Got some things you really want to talk about.
Die Bundesweiten Artist Labs sind eine Maßnahme des Fonds Darstellende Künste, finanziert aus den Mitteln der Beauftragten der Bundesregierung für Kultur und Medien im Rahmen der NEUSTART Kultur.
Welcome to
Dance.
That was so cute. I love it. Thank you very much. I am very privileged and honored to have you two as my guests today. Wait, I feel like I can't hear myself so good. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much for taking the time. And I would like to introduce me already getting nervous about the names. Introduce you two. Who wants to go first?
Ladies first.
All right. Thank you very much. Akshatha Ramesh started dancing at a very young age and has trained for 12 years in Indian classical dance. Later on, I'm going to ask you a little bit about the differences. But let me continue this beautiful bio. 2015, you completed your Bachelor's of Engineering in Biotech. 2018, you majored in performance at Atakalari
Yes.
Center of Movement Arts, where you were introduced to contemporary dance. 2018, you moved to Germany, Hamburg, where you completed your studies at the Contemporary Dance School Hamburg in 2021. You have, since 2000, danced more than 400 shows with Bharatanatyam in India, and here in Hamburg, you choreographed and performed pop-up folklore in collaboration with Veronique Langlot at Theater Lichthof. And currently, you have the Nachwuchsförderung from the Behörde für Kultur und Medien Hamburg, and your creation is called Navarasa, The 9 Emotions, premiering 17th and 18th of November at Sprechwerk Hamburg. Ooh, that made me very nervous.
that was impressive. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For having us here, and we're very honored to be here. It was a beautiful introduction.
I tried. Okay, next. Virendra Nishad.
Perfect.
2018, you also completed your studies at Atakalari Center for Movement Arts in Belguru with 100% scholarship. Bengaluru. Oh my God.
No, I heard right. I heard Bengaluru.
No,
there was no Bengaluru. I'm just embarrassing myself here. 2016, you won Best Performer at the state finals of
Karnataka.
Dance Championship. Thank you. I'm so sorry. And 2018, you were the winner of Eurasian Dance Project. Since 2021, you are in Hamburg, Germany at the Contemporary Dance School Hamburg.
Yes.
And your first creation, I've totally forgot, was 2018 called Remains, and 2019 MH12. And I found a beautiful quote that I'm going to get into later, because both of you together make the team, the organization, I don't know what you want to call it, the movement, MOKSHA Movements, here in Hamburg. You teach Bollywood dance since April 2023, and yeah, I would love to hear a little bit more about MOKSHA Movements.
Yeah, so MOKSHA Movements started in April 2023, and it was just randomly we were brainstorming together since we are very close since Atakalari, and since he moved to Germany, we were always thinking, yeah, we need to do something here. We need to kind of bring our culture and spread something here, and people would like love to, dance Bollywood and just dive into a different diverse culture or experience this new form of dance. I think sometimes you're not able to get it because I feel sometimes not everybody is able to travel to different parts of the world and experience the culture or like just the dance forms or whatever. So that's how we thought, like, let's bring something what we have in India so people can also uh, jump in and experience what we have. And that with that idea we started off Moksha Movements in 2023 April. And so it's going pretty well. We have like a growing community, and we have every Sundays every class from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And so we include a lot of different songs from different movies and catching the hook step and signature steps of that movie and just creating a very fun choreography in those 3 hours. And and then we shoot like different fun videos out of it. Yeah.
And it's like it's very fresh. 5 month, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and in 5 months, like we are lucky in this 5 months, it grows so fast. I mean, I'm not saying like it's reached somewhere else, but yeah, it growth what we imagine, it's like it grow
Yeah.
more than what we imagined, and we performed in some places, and we collaborated with one of the Munich dance company.
There's another like a Bollywood company in Munich, and it's called D for Dance. And so we collaborated with them to do some performances together.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going pretty well, and I hope it goes like
It continues
Yes.
to grow even bigger with this community. And we look forward to having a lot of people like just experience and try. And we look forward to the growth of Moksha Movements.
yes.
So, what kind of dance styles or offers do you do with Moksha Movements? Is it just Bollywood?
So yeah, like we teach Bollywood, like I would say Bollywood dance, because when you say
sorry.
Bollywood,
It's
it's not it goes to film industry. So yeah, we teach Bollywood dance, but sometime we to bring some changes just for refreshment, we teach a contemporary, but again on Bollywood music, so you won't feel detached.
Detached.
Yeah, from like a main route. So yeah, we keep experiment such things. Like sometimes we take a contemporary, sometimes freestyle, but our main thing is Bollywood dance. And now, as we said, like we started introducing yoga. So yeah, this is the uh, form we are teaching right now, and let's see if we start adding some Indian folk style in the future.
So that's the aim. Like we started off with Bollywood, and now we want to introduce yoga and eventually some folk dances from India, and hopefully even meditation at some point. Yeah.
Wow, that'd be really nice. Because here in Germany, we have a lot of yoga studios, which are not necessarily people from Indian culture or Indian background. How do you feel about that?
In the sense, like probably they don't have like the teacher training or something, but people are still teaching yoga without having like the base certification, or just like people are randomly teaching. How do you feel about that?
I see. I'm a teacher, so I can understand this very well. So I feel to teach yoga, you literally don't need a paper. If you know how to teach, if you know what you're teaching, and like if you know that, you don't need paper. And I'm totally okay with, let's say, foreigner teaching yoga. I feel like for me, I feel so happy to see this thing. I see like our culture is growing so much that other people are interested in yoga and they want to teach. So I feel happy. Yeah, I feel happy when I see that. So I have no issue like other people are teaching. It's totally fine for me. It's just that you should know what you're teaching and how you're teaching. You should not teach something under something. So for example, like that was the main like such I always forget words in this situation. I mean, uh, when we started teaching Bollywood, we had this let's say rule for now. Rule is not right word, but let's say rule that we should not teach something under Bollywood. We should not start teaching something like hip hop under Bollywood name. So I'm against of the against such things.
Yeah.
So if you're teaching yoga, teach yoga. Don't teach something else under yoga. So I'm just against of that. Otherwise, whoever teach yoga, if they know how to teach, and if they know what they're teaching and whatever they are saying, it's a right information. I'm not saying they should know entire thing. Whatever they know, they should know right, and they should spread in right way. If they are doing that, I'm extremely happy. And in my I'm studying in CDSH, and we have yoga teacher, and I feel so happy to learn yoga. I'm a yoga trainer, so sometimes I feel so happy to do yoga under someone who is not Indian. So yeah, like I'm happy. I see our culture is growing more and more. So yeah.
And I think it's also like not to do it for the commercial aspect or just for the business aspect of it, but as long as you are very well aware about all the asanas and the breaths, and how do you teach, and how do you communicate with the other people, and how are you organizing the classes, and just to know it very well, I think is a strong base. And yeah, so yeah, like he said, I think we are very grateful that people are really traveling, or like just here they are just inspired by yoga and learning so much and spreading that everywhere.
It's always interesting to hear a different perspective, because in Germany, or better yet said, in the Western world, we're having a big debates about appropriation, and always hearing from, let's say, the original source, or people who are closer to the actual culture itself, hear say things like that it's okay. Thank you. Speaking of different styles, or keyword different, I just had the podcast. No, we just did the podcast from Educate to Recreate, which is about Black dance culture. And through this podcast series, I'm always asking them to ask a question for the next podcast. And they knew that you were going to be the next podcast. So they have a few questions for you.
Okay. I'm afraid now. What gift gave you question?
No, they were very curious. So it started with, let's go with the simple question first. Teaching Bollywood dance in Hamburg, who is your target audience? Like, who are you inviting to these classes, or who do you want to come?
Yeah, so basically, as I mentioned earlier, we are actually making this accessible for everyone. It's not restricted to just like the Indian community or some other community, but we actually open this for people to experience our culture in a way. And that's the reason we also established Moksha Movements. And for sure, it's open for everyone. But right now, because we've started it, a lot of Indian community is being attracted, because I think they were longing to have this for a really long time. And everyone, as soon as we opened Moksha Movements, they were like, yeah, we are so grateful that you guys opened. And yeah, so they always look forward to coming to classes every time. But yeah, we also look forward to having a lot of non-Indians as well to actually take part and just have fun with us. So it's open to everyone.
Then the next question is, what is the difference between Bollywood dance and traditional dance? Because in their, well, yeah, I don't want to speak for them.
Uh, as for my understanding,
Mhm.
because I'm not a like master, so I'll whatever I know, I'll tell my side. Bollywood dance is it's like, if I start talking from the beginning, how it started. So first of all, Bollywood means Bombay, which is Mumbai right now in India, and Hollywood. So that's how it became Bollywood. And in Bollywood movie, like it's a Bollywood film industry. So in that movie, we have lots of songs, and for songs we put a choreography. At the beginning, there was not major choreography, but there was some choreography inspired by folk dance and classical form. But later on it started, like there was few legend who were the few actors who were dancing really well. From that it started picking up, and then choreographers came in, and it became huge group with a background dancer, and slowly it started getting influenced by western style. So now what Bollywood is, it's a mixture of lots of things. And what makes Bollywood stand out differently is uh, their costumes, the expression, their this iconic movement like thumkas and all. So yeah, that makes Bollywood stand out differently. Traditional, there are lots of traditional dance. I mean, like if I start counting, I may touch only 3%. So like there are 9 Indian classical form, and like lots of folk dance and all. So yeah, like I would say Bollywood is inspired from this traditional dance which we have. Like in Maharashtra, we have Koli dance, a Lavani. In Karnataka, there are Tapang Nuchi and Bhangra in Punjab. Like those are traditional dance from their own state. Like if you go to Punjab, they have their own dance form. If you go to Gujarat, they have their own dance form. So these are their own traditional dance forms. And then Bollywood is like a mixture of everything, a little bit here and there, and it became Bollywood. Bollywood dance, I would say, not Bollywood. Bollywood. Yes. This is as for my understanding. I'm of course like I'm missing something. There will be something to add on, but yeah, this is from like as far as my understanding.
Well, that was actually the next question, is asking like how Bollywood dance developed or is developing, and what styles influenced it. But like you just mentioned, Bollywood is the effect of the influence of different styles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like if I have to start, if I have to tell from the beginning, so this dance form got captured because of those actors. Because we watch lots of movies, like Indians are like lots of drama, this and that. So we watch lots of movie and we see those actors dancing, and we start imitating those movement. And so Bollywood dance became popular because of those actors who started doing those movements like Govinda, Mithunda, now Ritik Roshan. So
These are all like the famous
Yes.
actors of Indian cinema.
Yes. And yeah, like as I said, like Bollywood dance started from Indian classical and folk dance. Like it was a mixture of those, but slowly start getting recognized by people, and they start doing extra thing like a background dancer. Then choreographer came. Then if there is a duet song, then small, like there will be like flirting movement. Yeah, so and now it has lots, it influence from Western culture
Yeah.
a lot. And yeah, like you can see totally there are like you can find some hip hop movement or house footworks which is like modified such a way so that it will give a like little flavor of Bollywood dance or like Indian culture.
And I also think like it is influenced so much that right now it has been I mean, not right now, since a long time. They are also performing in like festivals, and now it's a thing to have it in weddings, that you actually have like a, during the wedding we have a separate day called Sangeet, and that is like it's just for dance, like where the bride side and the groom side, they have their
They have to have a whole
choreography.
They
performance.
prepare the choreography.
They
Wow.
prepare the choreographies, and it's like a battle,
Battle.
in between the bride and the groom.
Who's
And,
better?
yeah.
And it's like, it is sometimes it's that serious. They hired professional choreographers.
Yeah, now they do hire like
Yeah,
professional
before they were like,
choreographers.
okay, one like someone will know like, okay, little bit dance, she or like they will teach others, but now it's so serious.
Yeah.
They hire choreographers.
And now it's a thing, like now the choreographers have a job, like
Yes.
Yeah.
for teaching for weddings and
Yes,
wow.
yes. And not only wedding, like lots of social
Other events,
gathering, festivals. Like we have lots of festivals. Every month we have 3 festivals, I guess. So every time we come together as a community, we dance, we entertain others also with the folk dance, the Bollywood, with like different kind of dance form.
Thank you very much. I feel like I know I didn't know very much about it. And I think some of the listeners are also hearing all of this information for the first time. So thank you for sharing that. So with MOKSHA movement being so young and fresh, what were some of the challenges that you're facing now as a new movement?
I think currently we are just facing the challenge with the studio space, and like we were writing to a lot of studio spaces, and they are like completely full, or they don't have any space left in their schedule. And one other thing is like it's really expensive here, and we are also aiming to make it more accessible for people, and also trying to have limited price amount to make it more accessible. And it's also difficult for us with the high rentals, so yeah, I think studio space is one of the important concerns we are also facing. And it's also kind of being very we are getting the payments, and that's almost equal to
What you're getting rent, you
what
have to
we
pay.
rent. And so it's actually hard for us to earn out of that. So yeah, so we are looking forward to also having studio spaces which are less expensive, or yeah, so that is one of our major concerns
Yes.
as of now.
As of right now, no. Yeah, I mean, it's always the most challenging thing I find, especially in this capitalistic world, is how to stay accessible but also earn a living.
Yes.
But because of all of these things that you're doing to make it accessible, I feel like it's going to be the right and the success, like it's the right way to success.
Yes.
And the passion that you bring with sharing this beautiful culture and diversity in culture is definitely going to attract many beautiful things. Now, since this is the second time we're recording this because the laptop died, we're going to go more into your individuality of coming here to Germany. So again,
So yeah, like coming to Germany was one of my biggest dream. Because like I supposed to come here in Germany in 2018,
yeah.
but because of financial situation I couldn't make it. So in 2018, in 2019 I did crowdfunding, which didn't work. In 2020 there was a COVID, so there were people who promised me they will help, but after that COVID, they only they said like we better help other people instead of giving for education. So 2020 also went like that. But yeah, in 2021 I got opportunity to come here. I got a scholarship, and yeah, like coming here was one of my biggest dream. And when I arrived here, like it was November, so 4 o'clock, it was like completely dark. I was like, oh my god, what's happening here? So yeah, like it was a bit shocking for me and challenging. Like I have to wear thousands of layers. I was not used to it, so that was a bit challenging. And like of course, like I don't speak German, and like somehow I can understand a little bit, like intention, what you actually
Intention.
yeah.
You could read the body language.
Yes, as a dancer. So yeah, but I don't feel that for me German is that important, because there are lots of people, they speak English and they're very helpful. So that I didn't feel like very challenging for me. And I had my people like from like Indian community, and my school directors and manager, they were very supportive, and teachers were very supportive. So I didn't had like this breakdown movement anytime. But yeah, like of course I missed India a lot, but this was my dream. I was waited for this.
You're
So
living
I
your
don't,
dream.
yeah, so I don't regret that I have to cook every day. I like this and that. So yeah, I'm happy I'm here finally. And like I was dreaming from 2018. Now I'm in third year in same school where I wanted to be. So it's like time flies like this. So yeah.
You also said the first time we recorded, time flew when you also came, and I'm very interested to also hear your perspective when you first arrived to Germany, and especially now your profession and your oh my god, the English word Einstieg, your entrance into the professional world. That's also very interesting. But yes, let's go. You also got to experience this beautiful cold Hamburg weather.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like talking from the roots, how I ended up in Hamburg was, childhood. I was introduced to Indian classical dance. I was dancing it for a really long time and with a lot of performances. And I pursued engineering and biotechnology, and dance was just a hobby then. And eventually, there was this course which I came across. It was in Atakalari Center for Movement Arts, where they offered this diploma program, which had very diverse forms of dance, from like ballet and contemporary and mixed martial arts, and a lot of folk dances from India, and very rare form of folk dances they had. And that was very interesting for me to see like the schedule of this diploma, which made me like want to take it. So I quit, and then I jumped into this for a year. I was like, yeah, maybe just like I'll experience it for 1 year, and then okay, I'm just gonna go back to work. But that 1 year was so intense for me, and the experience was so rich that I wanted to pursue it for another year. And because we had the second year in the school itself, and initially it was not that easy to convince like my family, and but somehow I made through, and I told like I want to pursue it. They were like, no, I'm not going to give you even a penny for this. But I think I was fortunate enough to receive the scholarship from Atakalari, and I pursued the second year as well. And that's when I actually thought that maybe I can also make a career out of this. And the teachers who came were very inspiring, and especially teachers when they flew out from Europe to come to India to teach us. And they actually pushed us as as the students to like you can do it. If you have this passion, you can get out and you can pursue it as your career, and you have a lot of opportunities out there, if not here. And so I was also inspired, and I told at home that, see, I'm just going to go for 1 year experience, I'm going to come back. And and that's how I had to convince my family at the beginning. And they were like, yeah, okay, 1 year, so you just go and come back. and that never happened. So I came here, and entering into Germany in December, 24th of December. It was Christmas and it was cold, and we just had like 4 to 5 hours of daylight.
Sunlight,
And in the cold winter, it was a very hard time for me to navigate. But I think I learned to live in a very hard way, but also a lot of people who was inspiring, just to see a country filled with a lot of independent people. And me being from an Indian family, being a brat, being just given everything to me, this was a whole new experience. And I think I grew also as a person, very independent. And and sometimes I feel really proud of myself to see the growth I had for the last few years. And I think every year made me stronger. Every year I had a very beautiful experience, made some really good friends here. And
did you also have like a support system? I mean, you mentioned you had a little bit of community here. When you came, did you also have
yes,
a little bit of
I had a few friends, not really close friends, but they also helped me. But eventually I think I also I went, or I ran into like the comfort zone. You run into your community, like of the Indian community. And I met a few people. And I think within the span of 6-7 months, I found my now husband living in the same building. And and of course, my husband Amog has been like a major support system also through the years. And I finished school in 21. And since then, freelancing world, it's amazing. It's also I think it also makes you realize who you are and push your limits and see what you can do and what you can give your best. I had the chance to do a few productions, few events, and few research projects, got funded. And
now you have your first independent funding.
Yes, from the BKM. And that process also was very intense. I didn't know that I knew I was writing it somewhere at the corner of my room, writing the concept and discussing it with my husband that, we need to do this, we need to apply. And it was never really on top of the mind that, I'm going to do this today. And it was just that one push that my husband gave me. And then I was like, on just the day before the deadline, I just pushed myself and I did all the paperwork and I just sent it. I was like, I've sent it now and I don't care about the results. Let's see what's going to happen. But I was just happy that, I made a push. And after 3 months, there was the result, and it was, I was very happy. And it also changed me as a person that time, that, I could believe in myself a little bit more. And that also gave me some kind of a energy boost, some confidence that, you've achieved something that is one step closer to what you have dreamt of. And I'm very grateful and I'm looking forward. It's going to start, the process will start from October. And looking forward.
We'll premiere in November.
Yes.
17th, 18th, Sprechwerk, Hamburg. Reflecting on who you are, where you came from, and now you're here, and now you're actually, like you said, living the dream, and you got funding here in Germany to make your own production. What if you think about that, what pops up? I mean, I can see you smiling big time, but what's happening behind the smile?
I think it was just from an engineer who who was sitting in a cubicle, and which my body couldn't resist. I'm like, no, I cannot sit in one place for just 2-3 minutes. I'm so fidgety to actually traveling abroad and like living this independent life and seeing myself grow is giving me so much confidence. And yeah, I think I am. It's just that you need to believe in yourself is what I have. Like it's like just a major like takeaway for me. And yeah, I'm looking forward for a lot of challenges ahead. Yeah.
Seeing this story unfold, like you've been there from, I wouldn't say the beginning, but you've been watching, you've known her for a very long time, and this is also like this same similar path that you want to take. How does that make you feel? seeing this.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel very excited. Like, what I'm going to do, she's already doing. So it's like having a support system. You don't need to Google everything now because you know the people who knows how to do it. So it's like having like her. It's like a door stopper, like who know what to do and how to do. So for me, it's advantage. And yeah, like this is what I also dreamed of. And I'm also more into creating. I don't call myself choreographer because I feel it's a very heavy word for me personally. I call myself to creating something. So yeah, I'm more into that, and I love to create things which I love and which I always wanted to. So yeah, seeing all this opportunity here, it gives me a motivation that okay, there is a space where you can actually work on it. So yeah, I think I'm very excited. After my third year, definitely I'm gonna knock every opportunity.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that brings us to like this workshop, this lab of representation, because we have like a perfect example of what representation does to us, how it motivates us, how it also just makes a dream come true in a sort of way. So thank you for that, both of you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
But there's one other question that I had. Well, you now answered from a viewer point of view. And what does it do to you when you get to see other cultures or other people from India on stage here in Germany? How does that make you feel, or what happens in your body?
Like you mean the contemporaries like that we are? Or
Like in general, like in Germany on stages.
I think it makes me super proud. And because firstly, like in India, like having dance as a profession is a major no. Like, you know, it's like, yeah, no, you cannot earn so much in India. You know, they're always like, you know, this is a hobby. It's not a profession. Profession is like engineer or a doctor or something with a very heavy degree. And what is art going to get you? And that's the mindset. And actually to see people breaking all these norms and fighting their way and coming through a lot of struggles to actually achieving what they want. And I think it's pure joy and pure grace to see these people actually grow. And yeah, it's just pure, like it's just proud to just watch them on stage. And always my big support and love to like all the people who have come here and trying to achieve or like trying to, you know, dream of what they have dreamt and actually getting to live it. And it's also, I feel like it's looking at the few of us who have come here, there are a lot of people back home who are actually aspiring to just come. Yeah, and they are also fighting to, again, with the financial conditions and everything, but everyone is now like there. I think it's like the gates are opened. And I think through us they also know the ways, because then we didn't know how to access all these things. Now with a lot of fundings and scholarships, now even they can make it through and actually live their dreams.
Come on, pioneers. Paving the way. One thing that also really interests me, because you have performed both in Germany and in India, is there a difference that the way that the public reacts to you?
I would say, I will say, like both, like in India and in Germany, they have different opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like in India, if I perform, their feedback or their like when you go and talk to them, whatever you gonna hear from them is different than here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's totally different. And as a dancer, what I feel, like in India, where before going on the stage, we practice some ritual. We come together, we pray together. Here, feel it's missing a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, it's not like you should have it. But yeah, like it's. I feel the personally, I feel like that should be there. But yeah, that was your question.
Partially, but the not necessarily the process, but for example, when I perform in like a festival and I leave the stage, I have a completely different feeling than when I perform in a classical theater with a orchestra pit. And because I mean, different people, different opinions. Also, dancing, let's say for a majority of BIPOCs, it's a completely different energy on stage because the way they cheer you on or they don't, and the reaction that happens in the audience. And I was wondering if there's a big difference between here and India.
I mean, like there is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
More than difference, I would say like there is this kind of energy
Mm-hmm.
which can't be like defined in a words.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I can totally see their way of appreciating work is totally different. Uh, Now, how to explain it's a bit tough because I don't know how to put it in the words. But yeah, like I totally see two different way of appreciating one performance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Another aspect to it is like what I feel, how, I don't know if you meant like how the artistic value, like, of
Yeah, more
of
not necessarily value, but more of a like personal feeling that you also get.
yes, I mean it also depends, like, in contemporary back home, it's a very, very, very small community.
Mhm.
And people are just coming to, and only like the known few are just coming and supporting that contemporary. But if you take like the traditional forms, there are like huge number of people who are
Mhm.
actually supporting, and who are, who are actually uh, giving for, but nobody is actually recognizing the contemporary part or the contemporary aspect of what people are doing. And I mean, of course, that is also an art form that like the major crowd is always towards like the traditional forms. They always want to go in that direction. And like slowly I feel there is a lot of change even in the contemporary aspect and in the contemporary world or the community back home. And people are actually recognizing, and they want to recognize this art form and support it. But I think, yeah, it's going to take a while
Yeah.
to reach there. But yeah, here I think it's
The major difference is that here you dance contemporary and it's received much better, and you're doing what you love.
exactly, yeah. And it's much more it's also about how open you are, even, I mean, of course, like when I said, in India it's like a hobby.
Yeah.
So you can relate to that. Like here people actually come to support your artwork, and they are there for you. And yeah, comparatively it's a little less.
So many different factors play into it.
Yeah.
Oh. And I was like, I want to hear a one-word answer, but that, like you said, it's a completely different value of
Yeah,
the art and which art.
exactly. Yeah.
School me. Yes.
Mm.
Thank you. So at the beginning, I asked you a question that the previous podcast asked. So now I would ask if you would have a question for the next podcast. The next podcast is Chevelle, who you got to meet from former English National Ballet dancer, now freelancer. Do you have any curiosity or a question for him?
Yeah, I think my question for Chevelle would be in a company with so many people, when, of course, like with a lot of people in the company, how do you find your individuality there, and how is it to just work with so many people together, and also finding yourself?
Finding yourself amongst hundreds of people.
Yeah.
It's not a question actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I'm curious why, because long back I saw one documentary. It was on Swan Lake, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So in that documentary, I saw like they were casting dancers, and they were casting according to height and according to arm length, according to like physique. So like in that documentary, I saw like lots of dancers got kicked out because of their physique. So I mean, it's not question. It's just like just my curiosity. It's really important to have a perfect ballet body to be part of ballet productions, because one of my ballet teacher gave me a book to study because I'm very beginner.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book there was one chapter which in one chapter there was like this is how male body should be, this is how female body should be. So I'm like, okay, I if I don't have that, does that means like I can't do it or what? I mean, it's not question, it's just like my personal thing, like why it's like that, because I didn't find this thing in contemporary at all. So yes.
That is a loaded question. Deconstruct the art form. But I'm definitely going to ask that, and I'm very curious to see what he has to say about that, because alone being a black ballet dancer in England is already a step in itself. So stay tuned to hear what Chevelle has to say. Follow us on all social media. You were listening to
Pray.
Tans.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
and
you
having
so
this
much.
conversation.
Yes, thank you so
you so
much for
much.
having us. It was an honor.
Thank you for listening, and tune into our next episode of For more information, visit our social media pages, representants_lab. The content on this podcast has been verified to the best of our abilities. We cannot guarantee that there are no mistakes or errors. We sadly acknowledge that at the moment we have no representation of a person with disabilities. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as legal or medical advice.